The other day I made a play-along video for You've Got a Friend in Me by Randy Newman from Toy Story. And that song works out really well away from the pre-recorded audio, which is adapted, changed to a different key to play in the key of C. Now, most of my play-alongs are created for GCEA ukuleles, which is most ukuleles in the United States. There are other places that like other tunings. So if you have a ukulele in another tuning, this will not work for you. But before you go, as always, make sure that your ukulele is in tune. G, C, E, A. And we'll go through and look at the chords that are used in this song. The first one is the C major chord, easiest chord to use. Third finger generally on the first string, closest to the ground, third fret. C chord. Another chord, G7. So that requires 3 fingers. First finger goes on the second string, first fret. The other 2 fingers go around it. On the second fret, on the first and third strings. So I've got it played 1, 2, 3. You can see the charts. The C7 chord, which very much like the C chord, it's a variant of the C chord with a 7th. So we play that with our first finger on the first string, first fret. The F chord, which uses 2 fingers. First finger on the second string, first fret. Second finger on the fourth string, second fret. The next chord in the song is the most difficult chord in the whole song. It's the C diminished 7. It requires all 4 fingers. So you're going to put the first finger on 4th fret, second string. Second finger is going to go on 2nd fret, 2nd string. The other 2 fingers go in the gaps on the next fret. So I reach down with my ring finger, my 3rd finger, to the 3rd string, 3rd fret, and then my pinky plays the 1st string, 3rd fret. That's the C diminished 7 chord. Another chord used is the E7 chord. This is my favorite chord to play. It involves the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd fingers. First finger goes on the 4th string, 1st fret. The next 2 fingers go on. 2nd finger goes on 3rd string, 2nd fret. 3rd finger goes on 1st string, 2nd fret. It's the E7 chord. Next chord is a very easy chord, the A minor chord, typically played with the 2nd finger, 2nd fret, 4th string. In this song I use the Hawaiian D7. A lot of people just call it D7. It doesn't really have a D in it, however, but we call it the Hawaiian D7. It uses 2 fingers, 4th string, 2nd fret, 2nd string, 2nd fret. Another chord used is the A7 chord. 1 finger chord again, playing 1st fret, 3rd string. The next chord in the song is used in the bridge a number of times, and it's the B7 chord. Now, there are a number of ways to play B7, but this is the easiest way for me. I use the 1st finger on the 2nd string, 2nd fret, and then I do a waterfall down, is what I always tell my students. So the 3rd string, 3rd fret with the 3rd finger, 4th string, 4th fret with the 4th finger. Once you have the B7, it's real easy to find the E minor. And by the way, that's how E minor often will use the B7, and that's why I like switching this way. E minor is built in a waterfall very similar to the B7, except you start on the 1st string, 2nd fret. 2nd finger goes across to the 2nd string, 3rd fret. 3rd finger goes to the 3rd string, 4th fret. And by the way, if you ever play E minor to B7, very easy just to jump up and down a string using the same fret spaces, but just up and down a string. The final chord that appears in here is the D minor chord. It's very similar to the F chord that we played earlier, but 1st finger goes on the 2nd string, 1st fret. This one, the 2nd finger reaches over like A minor to the 4th string, 2nd fret, and the third finger goes in between on the third string, 2nd fret. So here's how this song is laid out. You get a verse, a little break, a little interlude, a verse, a bridge, a verse, and then that little break is a closure. So let's take the different parts. The verses go like this. You start with a C chord, a G7 chord, back to the C chord, then to the C7. Sounds like this. You've got a friend in me. Now, strumming, what I tended to do is down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. And you can play around with that. You don't have to strum perfectly. The rhythm, I wouldn't get worried about it. All right, the next line, you've got a friend in me, goes F, that's C diminished 7, and then the C. You've got a friend in me. Now, the next line goes like this. F, C, E7, A minor. Let's try it. When the road looks rough ahead. All right, next line. Uses that same sequence again. F, C, E7, A minor. And you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed. Next line is the same. F, C, E7, A minor. We do it. You just remember what your old pal said. Final part of the verse. Boy, you've got a friend in me. Hawaiian D7, G7, C. Boy, you've got a friend in me. Then there's a note that kind of, or a chord that kind of leads to a turnaround. The A7, you throw that in there. Yeah, then the D7, G7, C again. So it goes, yeah, you've got a friend in me. Okay, let's try that whole sequence. This is a whole verse. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. Now next comes the little interlude part, and that's made up of an E7, A minor, that's C diminished 7 again, C, G7, and then we're back to the next verse, so verse 2. So I like to whistle the melody that you normally hear on the piano or you hear in the other instruments, so let's lead up to it, playing that little interlude part. You've got a friend in me. Then verse 2. Now let's do that next part into the bridge, jump past the second verse. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. F to B7, then a C, B7, C. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am. Bigger and stronger too, maybe. Now, continuing on in the bridge, another B7. But none of them will ever love you, E minor, the way I, A7, do, D minor. It's me and G7, you boy. Okay, let's try that whole bridge together. 2, 3, 4. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy. And then we just kind of end the song on verse 3, and as the years go by, which which is the same chord progression. Now the third verse only has one little challenge, which is the little part that goes, it slows down. You're gonna see it's our destiny. Chords are F, Hawaiian D7, C, E7, A minor. Okay, let's try that again. F, D7, C, E7, A minor. And then right into that last part. Now the very end of the song repeats You've Got a Friend in Me 3 times with that little A7 kick the first two. So it kind of goes like this: D7, G7, C, A7, D7, G7, C, A7, D7, G7, C. See if you can do that with me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Whistle. Did you catch that little, again, that interlude thing? It's the same chords again. All right, let's do the whole song. You've got a friend in me. Follow along. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. When the road looks rough ahead and you're miles and miles from your nice warm bed, you just remember what your old pal said. Boy, you've got a friend in me. Yeah, you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got troubles and I got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together, we can see it through. 'Cause you've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be a little bit smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too, maybe, but none of them will ever love you the way I do. It's me and you, boy, and as the years go by, our friendship will never die. You're gonna see it's our destiny. You've got a friend in me.